Brother Nashi, how are you? Please hide my name. You can call me Sasha. I'm writing this to you because I just want other people to know that the spiritual world, it is so real. And I blame myself because I wanted quick cash. I wanted real money. I was tired of just standing in the street selling my body, and I became friends with women that are not South African that were also selling their bodies, and they told me some of the secret things that they did in order for them to make quick cash. I want other women to know, South African or non-South African, if you see people doing their thing and they are making quick cash, please do not be worried about the way that they are making money. Just do your own thing. As long as you are making money, it does not matter how much you are making, as long as your family does not go to bed hungry. There was a time when I was even making a lot of money, but now I am back to stage one. And these women, they are telling me that in order for me to keep on making money, I have to sacrifice my daughter. I was like, what? Sacrifice my daughter for what? Because I did these sacrifices in the first place because I wanted my daughter to enjoy life. I wanted my daughter to go to a private school. Now I have to sacrifice my daughter in order for me to be able to continue making money. I am back to stage zero, where I used to be back in those days when I started being friends with these women. Brother Nashim, 3 years ago, I was a woman that was making a lot of money. I was a girl that most men wanted to be with. I was a girl that was always at the VIP section in any big club, drinking bottles that were so expensive. But right now, I am a woman who is suffering from a lot of spiritual attacks. This year, I could not even send my daughter to a private school because the money, I'm failing to raise the money so that I can pay for the fees. Last year, I struggled quite a lot because when you are sending your child to these private schools, they don't care whether it is holiday or not. For 12 months, you pay transport, you pay for the fees, and there are a lot of things, activities that the private schools like to do. So I was paying a lot. And in the past 3 years, I really did not mind because the money that I was making, it was quite a lot. When I saw that people that do rituals, they are evil, this was the day when I went to cry to one woman when I told her that I can't do this sacrifice because what will I be living for if I end up sacrificing my daughter? Yet I did these sacrifices because I wanted my daughter to live a good life. And that woman, she is from Zim. She said, all that matters in this world is for you to enjoy, date men that have money, they can take you places. That is all that she cares about. She told me that in the 15 years that she has been doing these things, she has sacrificed 2 of her kids. And I asked her, so why are you still living when you know that you have done these things? And she said that she was the one who brought those kids into this world, and she has every right to do whatever that she wants with them. Brother Nashi, I used to be a woman that many men lusted after. It was because of the marine powers that had been given to me by one Sangoma that assisted me and cleansed me in the river to be able to make a lot of money. But right now, I'm scared of the devil because the devil, he is saying that he wants blood, and the blood that he wants, it is the blood of my daughter. Let me take you back. Many years ago, I was just a young woman living in a flat in Durban. I was hustling. I'm beautiful, very beautiful. There are men that have come to me after they have found out that I am a prostitute. And then the men will say, I want to marry you. I also want to get married. But Bro Nash, there are some of us that we just can't stay with a man. When I start to stay with a man, I stop being humble. I'm so rude, so much that the men will start to hate me. I have tried it several times. Men that have money, that have taken me into their mansions, and they say that I want you out of the street. But I guess that I was born for the streets and I belong to the streets. I just can't be happy with a single man. I will always find fault in that man, and it is very difficult for a man to say that this one is my wife, even though the man would have met me at a groove. Then each and every weekend I tell the guy that I want to go and drink alcohol. And when I say that I want to go and drink alcohol, not like going with a guy, I would want to go on my own, alone, without anyone, so that I can enjoy. I am used to this type of a lifestyle. It started when I was still very young. My mom, she used to go with me to a tavern. When I was only 11 years old, my mom would go with me to a tavern. So you see that with the character that I have, even if I try to control myself and to tell myself that I need to build a home, have a husband, and enjoy, there are men, a lot of them, that want me, but I do not want to be under the feet of a man. I want to do my things when I want to. So it is very challenging for a man, even if that man would have loved me from the start, but then he finds out that his wife or his wife to be goes to the groove, she gives it to anyone. Because once I am drunk, bro, I am always chasing after men, not like the men that I would have gone to the groove. So I have been trying to pray, hoping that God will change my character. Even if I try to go to church, men will start to chase after me. Even the pastors, they would try to chase after me to sleep with me. Then after that, they will see that I am a woman that can't be controlled. I'm not humble. I am full of pride towards men, because I feel like I'm too beautiful to be with one man. So I was brought up in that environment. At our home, we had a shabin, and my mom, she would bring in plenty of men. From a very young age, I started dating men that were older than I was. I dated these men for money, and I learned really quick that love is supposed to be like a financial transaction. I give you my body, and then you give me your money. As I was growing much older and being mature and having a child, my daughter, I then started to have other needs, whereby I could not get a man who could give me enough money to take care of me the way that I wanted a man to take care of me. I was tired of these cheap guys that I would meet at different taverns. I just wanted a man who could take me to a hotel room or a beautiful lodge and give you 500. I wanted a man who would even give me more than 500. I was tired of being treated like rubbish with these guys that could buy for you a 6-pack of Savannah and then they want to sleep with you without resting for the rest of the night. I was tired of dating taxi drivers so that they can just give me money and I can be able to buy some bread the next morning. I wanted to be in a Range Rover with a guy, and I was obsessed with Instagram. I would go to my friend and shoot pictures of myself trying to get hookups on Instagram. I had a friend of mine, the first one in our village, to really get an iPhone from her blessum, but she was so stingy about her blessers. She did not want to hook us up to her blessers. So I kept on trying to get a blessum until I started selling my body in the street. As I was selling my body in the streets, I started being friends with other women. They would come and sell with us in the streets. But these girls, some of them, they were even staying in penthouses and they were being flown to Dubai for a vacation by their blessers. I then started to ask these foreign women what was their secret, because some of them were not even as beautiful as some of us were. And I said, what am I doing wrong? Why are you girls always getting these men, Indian men, that take you to Dubai for vacations? One woman then told me the secret. She told me that she had this other sangoma that was from Zim, a sangoma who could assist me if I wanted real help. I did not want to know much about the ritual stuff. and I just went with him to the Sangoma. It was a week after we had spoken about that. We then went to the Sangoma, and the Sangoma started to work with me. The Sangoma did a lot of things on my private part, and some of it was painful because he took a razor blade and he would make me to lie down on top of a bed, open up my private part and cut me slightly with a razor blade. And he said that any man that would enter in the man will never forget me, will always think about me. Even if he is with another woman, constantly he will be thinking about me. And yes, this has been happening. I have seen it happen. Some of the guys that I slept with a long time ago, they are always in my DM asking me for love back. It is because of those charms that the healer put inside of my private part. But still, I was not getting like rich men. The Sangoma then said that if I wanted to get real rich men, what I was supposed to do was that I was supposed to go to a cleansing at the river, but I had to wait. I waited for 4 months because this was when some of the women, some were South African, some were from Zim, were supposed to do their renewals, because you go to the river to renew your vows, where you have to sleep with a snake that comes out of the water. We went to this river after the 4 months, when the Sangoma called me a week in advance, and the Sangoma told me that I was supposed to prepare. I was not supposed to sleep with a man, and if I was going to be on my period, I was supposed to go to the shrine so that they can give me some herbs so that my periods can stop, because we're not supposed to go there when we were dirty. So I sat at home. Even when clients were calling me to come so that I can sleep with them, I would refuse and say that I'm sick. Yet I was not sick. It was just that I was waiting for the 1 week to end. After the 7 days, we then went to the river. It was late at night. I was shivering, my brother, because we were naked whilst we were standing in the river. In the river, it was so cold. It was as if I had my feet inside a fridge. And then the Sangoma started to speak, and suddenly we saw a snake. Those girls that I was with, they did not even panic. One of the girl held my hand and told me not to worry. It was going to be over very soon, but she said that I was supposed to prepare for pain. I asked him, what type of pain was I supposed to prepare for? And then she said, like the pain that you felt when you gave birth, but you just need to make it ×2, that pain that you felt. Yo, bro, when I was standing in the river waiting for that snake to come to me, I kept on thinking about the pain that I felt when I was in labor, and this girl was telling me that I was going to feel that pain ×2. That was when the pain hit me so bad. I felt a movement inside of my private part, and the girl told me not to be afraid, for it had started happening. The snake had started to sleep with me. It slept with me, and in a vision, I saw a man who was a mermaid that was taking me into a bedroom, where he ended up taking me as his wife. And when it was done, I saw that all over my thighs there was blood that was just flowing down, and I collapsed. They held me so that I won't fall into the water, and they put me into the Sangoma's car. I was in pain, that pain that we feel as women when we are giving birth. It was ×20. That girl had lied when she had said that it was ×2. I then woke up. When I was back at the Sangoma's house, I saw that they had put me into bed and they had covered me with a blanket. I was still paralyzed. When I woke up, I felt so much pain down there. The ritual, it worked though, because the next morning we rested. We could not walk, all of us, and then after a couple of days, one by one, the ladies, they started to leave the Sangoma's place. As for me, since I was still a learner, I stayed there for a little while because I was still in pain. And then I recovered. After I had recovered, I then went back to the place where I was staying, and I started to get a lot of men. When I was walking in the CBD, after a guy that I had met on Facebook had sent me an e-wallet, so I was walking to the mall. There were about 10 men, one after the other. They came to me. Can I have your phone numbers? Can I have your phone numbers? I started to date high-profile men who could not stop talking about me. I would get men that would tell me that they want to marry me on the spot. I once had a politician from Pretoria that I spent with the whole night. Then that was when I realized that some of these elderly women that you see in clubs that are mainly from Zim, you see them having these rich blessers, and you as a young South African, you say that you're beautiful, you have a good body structure, but no blesser is even looking at you. Then there is this old lady, and there is a blesser that is all over him. Then I started to know that these women, they use charms in order for rich guys to chase after them. Even on social media, you can expose yourself all that you want on social media. The only men that you will have are these men that will use your nude pictures and videos so that they can relieve themselves in the toilet hiding from their wives, and they won't even give you a single cent. These ladies from Zimjo, they are very clever. They'll never expose themselves, but when they market themselves on social media for a hookup, thousands of guys will come to their inbox, and these are guys that are willing to pay for the cookie. This I did not even know, that it is no longer about beauty, but it is about the way that you can attract men using marine spirits. So I started to have a lot of men that would fall for me, men that were rich, that were paying for my kids' school fees, and I just thought that it was going to be like this forever. And these are the disadvantages of not knowing much about consulting with a Sangoma. So I just want to assist those that are stubborn as I was, who are still going to consult with a Sangoma. When you go to consult with a Sangoma, you need to at least ask a lot of questions about the effects. If it ever happens that there is blood that is needed, are you the one that is going to sacrifice the blood, or the Sangoma is going to do something so that there is blood that will be sacrificed? Because if you do not ask, I tell you, you are going to be told that you need now to sacrifice your own daughter. If you can at least write something down. Unfortunately, that Sangoma did not even want a mobile phone in his consultation room, so there was nothing that I could use to record him. And the Sangoma was talking really fast. I did not understand some of the things that this Sangoma was talking about. When I returned back to the Sangoma, because I saw that my blessers, most of them, they were no longer sending me the money like the way that they used to send me money. I wanted to know what was happening. That was when I was told that my rituals had expired. The marine spirit had left the building. That is what the Sangoma told me. The marine spirit is no longer with me. That snake, it can no longer do what it is supposed to do. I said, why? And I was told that I am supposed to go back to the river to go through that process again of sleeping with the marine spirit, destroying my womb, and spending days sleeping at the Sangoma's house so that I can get blessings again. And I have to sacrifice my daughter, for her blood is going to be taken and her blood is going to be dropped into the river so that the marine spirit can drink the blood. If I just go to the river without sacrificing my daughter, the marine spirit can even kill me because it wants something back. Brother, I did not invest a single cent. I made a mistake by moving straight into Umuhlanga, staying in a penthouse right now, and the bills are piling up. I have told my landlord to at least forgive me for the next 6 months, since I used to be a good payer when it comes to my rentals because I could even pay for 5-6 months in advance. So I just lied to her and I told her that I'm still waiting for some of my clients to pay me. I am about to make that decision to sacrifice my daughter. I can't move back to the location. I just can't. I have been trying to spend most of my days trying to pray, but God is very far away from me. I'm not like qualified to go and get a job which will sustain this type of a lifestyle. The only kind of a job maybe that I can get is to work in a restaurant, and the salary that I will be earning won't even be able to pay for some of the things that I pay in this gated community where I am staying, because we pay a lot of rates here for the security, and someone that is working in the restaurant, they can't even pay just for the security at the place where I am staying. I'm left with this tiny little bit to go to the Sangoma and say, yes, sacrifice my daughter. I have a friend of mine who comes from Blawayo who did the same rituals. She said to me, why worry? You have a womb. You can still have another child. And I do not know. I just came here so that other people can advise me on the next step that I am supposed to take. Please do not judge me, because you never know. Tomorrow it might be you in the situation which I find myself in today. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Your strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Imagine you keep on going to that river, then you have that painful experience in order for you to date rich men. And she is saying that these days it is no longer about beauty. She wrote a message and she said, you can be a yellow bone, you can have a beautiful body, but you will post yourself naked, and men will only give you loves and like that don't mean anything. Then there might be a woman that is twice as old as you are, that is not even having the same body structure. She'll just post one decent pic or a video, and then men will be in her DM asking for a hookup. Let us talk about this in the comment section. I'll be back with another episode.